Hello, my lovely students. A very bright morning to everyone. Let's start our day with a beautiful quote. A beautiful day begins with a beautiful mindset. Now, let's have a small prayer. Only God can turn a mess into a message, a test into a testimony, a trial into a triumph, and a victim into a victory. Let's go and let's start our today's work. Before starting, I would like to make sure that all my children would sit with their books open with the chapter. We will start with Unit 4 with the poem, and the name of the poem is Why. Children, first I'll read the poem line by line and then I'll do the explanation. Let's start. First stanza. I know a little curious boy who is always asking why. Why this? Why that? Why then? Why now? Why not? Why by the by? So, children, this is a poem related to a child who is full of questions. Now, the poet says that he knows a little boy who is curious, always asking questions about anything and everything. He is anxious and eager to know something about everything. He keeps on asking why this, why that, why now, and why not, and other similar questions about everything he comes across. So, children, the child is shown curious. Curious means a person who wants to know each and everything and wants to know the answers of all the questions that he has in his mind. So, he's a chota packet with a blast of questions. Let's move to second paragraph. First line, he wants to know why wood swim? Why lead and marble sink? Why sun should shine and wind should blow? And why we eat and drink? Now, children, in this stanza, the poet further describes the queries of the little boy. Queries means the questions that are in the mind of the boy. He asks questions like why does wood swim in water? Why lead and marble sink in water? Children, you all must be knowing that heavier things like marble and stones they sink in water, and the lighter things like wood they all float in water. So the child is having a query that why things float and sink in water. This question asked by him indicates that his imagination is very strong. He has good observation skills. Let's move on to the third stanza now. First line, he wants to know what makes the clouds and why they cross the sky. Why sinks the sun behind the hills? And why the flowers die? In this stanza, the poet gives some more examples of the questions asked by the little boy. He says that the boy wants to know what are the clouds made up of and why do they move up in the sky, unlike all other things that move on the ground. He also wants to know that at sunset, why does the sun disappear behind the hills? And what is the reason that the pretty flowers in the garden die all of a sudden? Now, children, let's move on to the last stanza of the poem, that is fourth stanza, which says, some of these whys are not too hard to answer if you will try, others no one ever yet has found the reason why. So, in the last stanza, the poet says that some of these questions asked by the little boy are not at all difficult to answer. We just need to think a little about it and can satisfy the child's curiosity. But the answer to some other questions is not even known to us, as we have not pondered over them. So, children, the poet says that it is not at all difficult to satisfy the child, but some questions the child asks cannot be answered at all. So, children, now we have come to the end of the poem, but I'll explain you the poem once again. Pay attention. This poem, Why, is an insight into the mind of a little boy. Insight means what are the questions that are going inside the mind of the little boy. All children are curious and eager to know reasons for everything happening around them. Whatever they find unusual, they think about why it is so. This little boy, who has been talked about in the poem, speaks out all his queries. Queries means the questions he has in his mind, he wants to know. His inquisitive mind reflects his intelligence. This means if he is asking questions, this shows that he is intelligent. He is observing everything in and around. He asks that why does wood swim on the surface of water while marble and lead sink in it? This shows that he observes everything. He also asks questions about the clouds, sun, wind, flowers, etc. Now, children, we have the answers to some of his questions, while some others need a little thinking. Still, there are some such questions, the answers to which even we don't have. We have considered them to be facts and accepted them. So, children, this is a poem related to an inquisitive child with which you all can relate to. I know you all have lots of questions which you all keep on asking to your teachers and your parents. So, children, I want you all to be inquisitive and curious. Keep on asking questions to your parents and your teachers, which will drill your mind. I hope you have a great day today. Stay home, children. Stay safe. Thank you. Bye bye.